These are the most important parts. You don't need everything here to figure out what kind of screw you have. But these are what I consider the basics. This is just my point of view. I'm actually an engineering technician for my daily job right now. Used to do lots of other stuff before this, but I have to do this on a regular basis when I'm given something I got to figure the thread out. Any one of these books, there's Machinery's Handbook. This one is just an old one I picked up at a flea market. Machinist Ready Reference. And this is Adele's Machinist Toolmakers like Handy Book. That's the first thing you need. I'll show you how to use that in a bit. These are really, really important. Even the cheaper ones, these are thread gauges. So as you can see, there's an SAE or Imperial and a metric. This is just Imperial and metric together. Doesn't matter the brand for the purposes of what we're doing, it's just sorting out. You need your big bag of bolts. So I've taken one of the bolts out, or this is just a machine screw. See the washer still on it. And find it really helpful to have a pen and paper to make a little sketch and your notes. And here is the other really important part. Either a digital caliper or an old school dial caliper. You could use vernier. That's a little bit more difficult, but still doable. So the steps for figuring this out, I'm just going to put these two big books aside. This one's got a really good picture in it. I'm going to open this up. You grab your thread or your screw, and I know for a fact that that car probably doesn't have a metric thread on it, especially since it was mostly stock when it arrived and won't be stock when it leaves. But you grab the SAE, you can put the other ones aside, and then you'll notice each one of these little paddles, you can see this one's been abused a little bit, has teeth on it. Now, it's hard to do with one hand, but all the teeth, you can see there's a little tiny number. It's really hard to show on the camera. But what you're going to do is go through trying these. Now you can tell it's not a coarse thread like that. So it's probably on the finer side of things. So when we rotate it around, I figured out it's a size 24. So that's the first step. So I'm going to write that down. I put a little space, 24. Now, the next thing you do is you take your calipers and measure to the outside of the thread, which in this little book, you can see is called major diameter. That will get you started. So because one hand is on the phone, I've set this up. You can see that the screw in question, or bolt, is in between the jaws of the caliper. Not the best way to do it, and you'll understand once you start trying this. And I figured out that the major diameter is 0.2135 of an inch. So I'm going to add that to just below here, 0.2135. Then I come back to my little reference. Remember, you're looking for major diameter, or somewhere really close to that. And if we go down here, and we look in this first column, major diameter. Look at that. 3/1000ths of an inch for an old rusty screw is pretty good. I've never actually used these in work or to build anything, but I figured out that this is now a 12/24. Not a common size currently, but that major diameter lets me write in 12/24. And I've also measured, if I do a quick little sketch, you have a bolt. In this dimension. Was measured at 1/2 inch. Or 0.500. So we now know that we have a 12/24 thread that's a 1/2 inch long, and that's it. Then it doesn't seem so intimidating to grab a bag of bolts or a box of bolts and figure out what goes where, or if you've got one of something. So this is a really good strategy if you have just one bolt and you need to buy, say, 2 or 3 more.